Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want bigger rocks. I got plans, you got talk. Heard it's real cheap, but it's really gon' cost. I'm trying to get these ends, building empires with my friends. I'm about handling my business.
TV. Everything I say in this video is alleged. It is in my opinion, and it is for entertainment purposes only. Hello, YouTube family. It's DMarie TV. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the video, you guys. I'm new to YouTube. Every like and subscribe that I get, it helps me get higher in the algorithm. And I always forget to ask you guys in the front of the video, and I wait till the end and I miss it. So would you please do me a huge favor and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Here we go. Hey, DMarie TV family. So I reviewed all the Instagram postings and the pictures from Stormie's party in the pasture, and by all accounts, the party was lit, y'all. It was lit. It's just nothing else you could say. You know, I done had my fair share of parties, honey. And by all accounts, that party was lit. Okay, and I don't even like Stormy, but you got to give it up where you got to get it up. She threw a good party, or either Carlos King in production threw a good party. But last night, Carson decided to kind of give her a recap of the party, and I just think it went left. It went left. She should have kept it to the topic. She should have stayed on topic, but the minute she's got off topic, it just totally went left. And so this is what happened. Last night she did a live, and on her live, Carson Blue, in my opinion, started to do the same pivot that we see everybody do. It's just crazy that people think they can be this shady and ain't nobody gonna notice. But she started to pivot. Now, I'm not saying that Carson is the same as content creators who turn, or Stormy or Destiny, or, you know, any of them, Tisha, any of them. What I'm saying is, in her special way, I feel Carson Blue, you just saw this switch. She was saying little things that implied you millimeters may think Mel is not friends with them, but she's really friends with them. You know what I'm saying? Which is the same thing as saying, if Melody did something wrong, would y'all call her on it? You know what I mean? It's just this little turn that you pick up on from people, and it's given. Here we go. You know, we're so used to seeing this. I think the difference that is happening with me is that I'm starting to just like laugh at it. You know what I mean? Like it's funny because everybody's trying to figure out how to do it in their own way, and they're all trying to figure out how to do it without letting on that that's what they're doing. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. And I don't know if, you know, I don't know the whole backstory behind it, because to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not that into Carson Blue. Carson is somebody that's moved to Huntsville. She's approaching Huntsville as a businesswoman, and so she wants to network and be in with as many other business owners as possible for one reason and one reason only, and that is to grow her business. If given the opportunity to be on Love and Marriage Huntsville, she would take it. That, in my opinion, she would take it. I don't think Carson is against anyone. I think she is looking for all the opportunities that she can, because she's a businesswoman. She's trying to network. She's in a new city and she's trying to build her business. That's just my opinion. But let's just get into what she did say. What's very clear from her live is that she really is impressed with Stormy, and she really, really, really believes that Stormy is, a great businesswoman, and she is very proud of her, and she just had a really good time at the event. It almost seemed like she was like, fangirling out or something like that. I mean, the scope of Stormie's property, Carson was very impressed with that. Carson was very impressed with her home, the size of the party, all the people there. I think she really likes her interactions with Stormy. She believes Stormy is very cool and, down to earth. The same way we all thought Stormy was cool and down to earth when we first saw Stormy and first engaging with Stormy through the television. When Stormy first came onto Love and Marriage Huntsville, we were all for Stormy because that's the impression that Stormy gives off. Carson says that she is not someone who watches the show regularly. She claims she has never really been a Love and Marriage Huntsville fan. I don't believe that. I believe that she watched the show a lot once she found out, or once she had interactions with Ariane. And I believe that she plotted to get on the show. That's my opinion, and that's my belief. I believe she did that. I don't believe necessarily that it's because she's in a cahoots like with a group of people trying to get at Mel. I don't believe that. I just believe Carson's kind of like, if there's a Love and Marriage Huntsville circle, she's just kind of walking around the circle trying to find an opening so she can step in and be a part of the circle. That's what I feel about Carson. I feel like she is a business owner, and she knows the best opportunity for her to grow a business is to get her business on the show, and she's that close to it. She knows a lot of people on the show. She's in their circle, so now she's just trying to figure out what's the best way in, right? For a lot of millimeters, that feels deceptive, and we're tired of that because we've watched Destiny do it, we've watched Stormy do it, and now here you come. And people really don't know your true intentions. We can only go by what you show us, but it seems to us that people try to befriend Mel or befriend the show so that they can get in, and when they get in, they turn on Mel. Hence, then we all turn on those people. Millimeters has seen this several times over the years, and so we're very skeptical of people who move in certain ways. I do not think you are exactly the same as Destiny and Stormy, but I don't believe that you're openly and maliciously connecting yourself to Mel to try to befriend her just to get on the show. But I think that you would do that with any of them if it allowed you a space on the show. Carson routinely said she is not friends with Mel or Stormy. She's friendly with them, and she believes both of them are great businesswomen, but she believes that Stormy should get a new start. She needs a redo. I disagree with that. Stormy does not need a restart, honey. You need to watch the show. You need to go all the way back to season 1, and you need to binge watch the show. And until you do that, you need to stop getting on your live and speaking about Melody, their relationships, what you think they are as far as friendships, because you're unaware of what you're speaking about, and you need to know your audience. You know what I'm saying? Being a good business person is knowing your audience, and you need to know your audience. So at some point in time, if you're going to be on here talking about this show and the friendships and the relationships that are revealed and explored and analyzed on this show, you need to do your homework and know your audience, because millimeters have been here from day one. We know what we're talking about. We see a lot of things that other people don't see because we're on top of not only the show that happens on, every Saturday, but we also watch what happens on social media. And more of what happens on social media is their real life. So not only do you have to watch the show, you got to go back and look at all these bloggers and the views and the beefs that happen online. That's a lot to do. If you can't do that, you should just almost every time you speak about this show, start with, listen, I'm not talking about historical data or historical information. I'm speaking about what I know from this point moving forward. Okay? Because if you don't do that, it makes you come off as if you're being shady. So Stormy getting a redo, she doesn't deserve that, because Stormy has told us out of her own mouth that she believes herself that she's one of the realest people out here. She keeps it 100. She keeps it real. And as a matter of fact, one of her biggest complaints about Melody is that she says she doesn't keep it real and she doesn't keep it 100. Stormy is not telling the truth. Stormy does not keep anything real or 100. Stormy knew her mother didn't like Melody before she got on the show, and Stormy knew she didn't like her. She also knew she had befriended Ariane. And my personal belief is it's Ariane and Martell. So I didn't find it to be shocking that she was at Sheree's New Year's Eve party. I believe she was friends with Martell and Ariane. She knew about the relationship before she ever reached out to Melody for the ambassadorship. But see, that same sneaky, conniving way that she moved to get on the show, that is the lens with which people are looking at you. And what we're trying to do is to see when you're going to start to pivot. And what you did last night seemed as if it could be a pivot. But the difference is, I really believe that you're hungry. You're hungry for a customer base in Huntsville. You're hungry for marketing. You're hungry to grow your business, and that this show is the way in which you want to do it. You've gotten close, as close as you can possibly get. And I believe now, because it did not work with Tisha, Melody didn't bring you in, now you're trying Stormy. You spoke about Stormy being this great businesswoman and all this land that she has. And the land is a beautiful piece of land. And not many Black people get to own that type of property in this country. And so I can understand you being in awe of her ownership of the land. But when you own property, unless you pay for it outright, you're making payments on that property. And then if you get yourself into trouble legally, people can place liens on your property because it is an asset. Okay? So yes, that's her property. It's her property until it's not. Stormy is currently in multiple lawsuits. She's been sued. There's judgments against her. There's liens on the property. She's taken out loans against the property. She has an F rating for the Better Business Bureau. And she has a lot of problems with her business, hence Canvas 2.0. She's trying to rebrand and start over. The mayor giving her accolades at her party, I'm not sure what that's about. It just appears to me that a lot of you are in Huntsville just kind of basing your belief that someone is a good business owner on what they drive and where they and how they live, instead of actually looking at the facts. It has been investigated by the Better Business Bureau that Stormy has hundreds of customers that have complained that they've paid her money and she did not send their product. She's also been accused of basically using her business as a Ponzi scheme. So instead of just like putting people on pedestals and claiming they're really cool and they're great to know and that, there's somebody that you should be admiring, do your homework. Do your homework. As far as you and Melody, I love the relationship that you and Melody have, because I believe it is a cordial relationship, and I believe you go in the cordial category. Right over there with Tisha, Stormy, the rest of them. So also a part of your live, Carson kept saying that, everybody at the party was getting together, and she believes that everybody, the whole cast, is really good friends. She believes that they were friends at one time, had an issue, and then they have made up and now everybody's cool. Well, the issue with that is, how do you define, cool? How do you define issue? How do you define friends? Your definition of either of those things can totally change the scope of your statement, right? So friends are people who have your back, who love you, who are down for you at any given time. The rift between Melody, Tisha, the Scotts, all of the Scotts, Destiny, all of them. Well, not so much Destiny at this point, but the issue with the Scotts and Melody, they were very cool. The core six were very tight. Melody believed that those were her friends. It was not until it was revealed that Martell was cheating on her that she discovered they were not, because they all knew that he was cheating and nobody ever told her. That is not friendship. That's not friendship. And what it revealed to her was they are friends with Martell, not friends with her. Nobody supported her through that breakup. Nobody supported her through the divorce. Nobody supported her after the divorce when she was going through her child custody case. You know, it just was not, the support was not there. So they're not friends. What they decided to do was be cordial and not be so nasty with each other so that they could all keep the show on the air and make money and keep a check. So they essentially do what most of us get up and do every day. We get up and go to work, whether you like your coworkers or not. It ain't got nothing to do with your job. You getting your money. You getting your check. And that's what Melody's doing. Melody has 4 children. She has staff of, I believe, 25 plus, maybe 30 plus staff members that she has to pay. She has her own businesses, so she needs to collect her check. She's also executive producer of a show that hit 100 episodes. So syndication is anyone's goal when you're on television. So what they all decided to do was be mature adults and go along to get along. But friends, no. She tells you exactly who her friends are. All the millimeters know who her real friends are. We also know that Tisha, Destiny, and Stormy all came on the show and used the very same storyline, that Melody was not a good friend because she disappeared from their lives. Not ever considering that she was going through anything, that her husband was cheating on her. She was publicly embarrassed. She was defeated and depressed because her whole friend circle betrayed her. She also has 4 children that she has to share with a person she can't stand. And then he goes and tries to take her children. But none of those women, Tisha, Destiny, or Stormy, could understand why she wasn't on the phone calling them every damn day. That's not friendship. That's not friendship, Carson. No, that's not friendship. So I think it will behoove all of us, for if you're going to comment on this show, which I enjoy your lives, I enjoy your post, I enjoy your conversation when it's things other than Love and Marriage Huntsville. But when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville, I just think you're someone on the outside trying to find a way in, and you're speaking to an audience of people that know way more than you, so you're not credible and you don't come off that way. For those millimeters out there, the term millimeter has a whole lot of people under that umbrella, okay? Different people see different things at different times, and we all have to be okay with that. The main goal of ours should be to support Melody. I'm not concerned with Carson at all, but what I will stand up and say, she's giving her opinion of what she viewed, and she's openly saying repeatedly she does not watch the show. Oh, I didn't know that. And she's backtracking, and people are educating her through the whole live. Production and Carlos King threw a good party for Stormy on her property. Okay, that's what that was. That's why the whole cast was there. Anytime you see the whole cast, it is a production event. Okay, they're required to be there. They're not there because they besties and they hang out all the time. It's not. They're there because they're required to be there. Just like Houston, Melody would have never went to Houston at the same time Martell was and hung out in any space that he existed in unless it was required of her to do her job. Same thing for Stormy's event. When she held her name change ceremony, when Melody held her name change ceremony to change her name from Holt to Rogers, she had full authority over who was and who was not invited to that event. And none of those people were there except for, and this is what I've heard, is Nell and Chris Fletcher. other than that, none of those people that you're claiming are her friends were there. And that was because it was her event. She probably paid for it. She probably hosted it on her own. And it was not something that was a production of Carlos King and the production team for Love and Marriage Huntsville. See the difference? Okay, you guys, leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about what you're seeing Carson said versus what Carson really said. Go back and watch it if you have an opportunity. Let me know what you think about Stormie's party. I mean, I'm impressed by Stormie's land, but it's not going to be your land for long if you keep walking around here getting sued and getting liens placed on it. So yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful slice of land. It's gorgeous. And I hope she gets it together, and I hope she maintains it, and I hope she's able to pass it down to Chess and anyone else that she wants to pass it down. I hope it remains in her family for a very long time. That's the ideal situation, because when one of us win, we all win, right? That's the goal. However, I don't know that that's going to happen unless Stormy changes how she does business and how she moves. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button so that you know every time I post a new video. And you guys have a good one. Bye.
Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm racing the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams.